First case this evening is a continuation of the site plan review. The proposal to construct and operate a gas station convenience store at 80 and 96 East Main Street in the Regional Commercial District.
Good evening, Madam Chair. My name is Jim Bianco. Nice to see you all again. Before we left last time, we were aware that there's some issues that you all raised. Sidewalk being one is most important. We talked a little bit about lighting, a little bit about speaker and how loud it may or may not be. So what we've done this evening is the gentleman with us, who's now walking up, and he's going to put up his plan. And we're going to talk a little bit about both of those and explain them to you. And then, when we're done, if you would like to ask questions or the process, please feel free to do so. Our goal tonight, if we can, is to move forward with hopefully approval and with conditional upon final resolution of the sidewalks. We understand that, and we're going to do that up front. So, no hidden balls here, that's where we are. So I'm going to turn it over to Sherry to my left, and he is going to...
Good evening. For the record, my name is Jim Cranston with Bowler Engineering. I demoed with the individual who was here at the last meeting as to what went on, what was discussed, and sidewalk connectivity to the street was, I think, the biggest item. What we've shown is a sidewalk connection on the, it's called the southeast side of the intersection, the existing intersection. This location, from a traffic standpoint, was located on that end of the intersection due to the visibility of vehicles entering from both directions due to the curvature of the road. This was really the safest location for pedestrians to cross. As an added note, keeping the sidewalk on this side and bringing pedestrians to the front of the store here on site is also, we think, the safest location for a couple of reasons. One of them is not having pedestrians walk in front of the drive-through exit. So the drive-through again is behind the store. The pickup windows here, people pick up their purchased items and then they exit. We feel that having a crossing here probably wouldn't be the best location for that reason. People kind of discombobulated and not really paying attention. And secondly, the USTs, if there's a fuel delivery, having people cross over here, there's a truck there dumping fuel, obviously not the safest condition to have. So in doing this, we had to lose one parking space. We still do comply with zoning, 20 spaces provided based on this layout and 18 to comply.
Madam Chair, would you like to take questions now as we go through?
Yes, does anyone have any questions at this point?
The curb sidewalk?
Yes, yep, there would be a 6-inch reveal curb protecting pedestrians from vehicles and vice versa, except for where there's flush curbing at the ramp locations. Yep. And it's a 6-foot sidewalk that we're proposing.
What's on the curb side, because like a little yellow thing, what is that?
Right here.
Just up a little bit, yeah.
Oh,
just-
there,
oh,
right
that's-
there, yeah.
It's a light.
That's a light.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. Will the light be there or will it be on the grass?
It would be at the edge. ADA requires 3.5 feet of clearance, and that's why we have a 6-foot sidewalk allows room for both features to be present. And even looking back if we needed to, we're definitely not close to the budding properties. We could look at moving that back.
So that light is in the asphalt?
It's in the edge of the sidewalk. It's not on the plans. Actually, it should, yeah,
Well, I'd like to see
it
how-
should be on the plan. Take a look.
Mondays and Sunday. So I was looking at the base that the pole goes into. We'll reduce the size of your sidewalk there, right? So there'll be a light pole base in the sidewalk.
Correct.
And we don't know how big that is because it's
It's
Gonna be
probably
designed
18
by
inch,
others,
probably
so
about 18 inches.
what's the requirement for ADA sidewalk, 5 feet?
Well, you need 3.5 feet of clearance.
No, you're talking that you have
Right,
passed like
so we have a
side
6-foot
measure,
sidewalk, so we have ample room.
except for that light pole is.
No, if you have a 6-foot walk and take away 1.5 feet, you're left with 4.5 feet. And then it gives you another foot of play, so you get 3.5 feet of clearance for a wheelchair.
So 3.5 is the,
Yep.
okay.
And
that's
again,
good.
if we can look at moving this light pole back into the grass area, shouldn't be a big deal.
Any other questions?
That house is to the right, that was purchased. That will be to the right of the entrance, is that house, if I remember correctly, that was purchased.
I believe that was mentioned last.
That was-
Oh, I'm just thinking.
I think it was purchased.
Yeah, it was.
Last time.
And he's moving to Arizona.
Oh, I thought it was the
That's
other.
right.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, one of the other things that came up was, I think one of the questions from the board was, did we touch base with the Conservation Commission? And what they did, I just want to know that we sent a letter to, I think we got an email, that we spoke to Chuck Mitchell, because he's the Conservation Commission regarding the site plan. Jim Mitchell stated that the Conservation Commission has reviewed the site plan in July. He believes there were no further questions and that there is no need for a formal meeting regarding the site plan. However, he's reaching out to other members to let us know if there's an issue we have not heard back. And that was September 4th.
I believe you had said the last meeting his concern was a 100-year storm and that you met that. So, okay,
We would have covered that with you as well.
yes,
Uh,
okay. The crosswalk?
That was the crosswalk.
I mean, I can add the crosswalk depicted there. I don't know, you had more questions for them about?
No, I thought he was gonna make a presentation about where you are with it now. I believe you've contacted DOT and,
We have, yes, and just for your record, my name is Jeffrey Dirk. I'm principal with Vanessa Associates with the Traffic Engineers for the project. So at about the same time you received the traffic study, we submitted that to DOT, and within that submission included the modifications of the traffic signal to include that crosswalk, because that will be under traffic signal control. So just like the crossing of the Tilton Center driveway, you'll push a push button, and the lights will go red, and you'll be able to cross there. So they're looking at that as a part of the application. So when they approve the driveway permit, similar to what you're doing here, that will be a condition of the issuance of that permit, is that we physically construct that. They are aware of the fact that it's important to the town to have a cross connection somewhere along the roadway, and the signalized intersection is the safest place to do that. So I fully expect that it will be as we proposed it here.
any comments or questions about that? No?
We just have a general statement. I mean, I know that folks that I've spoken with associated with the town of Tilton have mentioned desire to have the sidewalk on the other side, so it's called the Pizza Hut side as opposed to the Chili side. But I did contact DOT, and DOT was saying that a lot of the concerns that people have with visibility are not relevant in this case because it's a signaled intersection and people aren't just going to be walking, they're going to only be walking when traffic is stopped for red lights. And that I was told that it's the traffic division or bureau at DOT that will determine whether that location is safe or not, acceptable or not.
Our concern always when we're designing these intersections is kind of that, what they'll look at is the worst case condition, which is power goes out and you don't have the lights, there's no light, it operates on a stop sign control. So when that's the case, you just want to make sure that you've got good sight lines. Putting it on the other side of the intersection, the hill actually crests just to the north of the intersection. It gives a little bit more time for reaction for someone who's going through the intersection by having it on the other side. That was one of the concerns, or one of the things that we factored into locating it on the south side.
And I know that's DOT's main concern too.
Exactly, it's safety, always safety.
Any other questions or comments?
was a concern raised by one of the members who's not here this evening about what we said maybe a PA system. She was concerned about the noise.
I think you wrote that on there, that was Eric, yes.
And so we can address that by saying how much that is and how that really complies with the regulations, would be no more. If you'd like to address that for just a second.
Sure, so the drive-through window operation is where the speaker system would be. These are the menu boards here, and I'm sure you've all been to a drive-through operation where the attendant notices you're there, and then you'll get them to come over the speaker system. So this speaker system, does face the rear of the property. I'm told that it operates at about 70 decibels. And as an added precaution, what we've done, and again, so the speaker, typically noise travels the direction which it's the speaker's facing, but it does resonate obviously outward. What we've done as an added precaution is we've added some 4 to 6 foot high arborvitae staggered in a staggered fashion, just to provide that added level of comfort. And again, just to shield this neighborhood over here. It is quite a ways away, but just add some more plantings should certainly address that.
Is that a 24-hour drive-through?
That's what we're asking for, yes.
Is it gonna be like fast food, or is it gonna be coffee, or
We're working through that at this time.
Not sure exactly what it would be. One of the other menu.
Hummus. Something healthy.
Juice bar,
Yeah.
we'll put in our request now.
You can get grease anywhere down the street.
We'll get some better, huh?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. That's good.
Let's go to Market Basket, get something healthy quick. Got a lettuce.
Make sure you have kale, put kale on
Okay,
that.
we'll have to get that on the list.
Right up there
Yeah, that's
with
easy.
over.
And it's where you can.
Yeah.
and that'll connect to
No.
the town sewer?
That's okay. Yes.
The one other thing I brought up last time, and I didn't walk the trail, but I went down Route 140 this morning, because I was asking about the bike trail, and if there's ability to connect a walkway down there. And it looked to me that the bike trail was on that side of the tracks versus the other side of the track, unless it crosses somewhere. As I say, I just went down to 140 this morning, I looked down the tracks, and there was a trail going down the McDonald's side of the track versus the river side of the tracks, and it just, I don't know, just as an option to make it accessible for people on the trail.
And I think we had recommended that if, at some point, if that was able to be made, it's a good idea to do that. We weren't sure what the rights were to be able to physically cross the tracks.
I don't know either. It's just
It
something-
always seems like it's a simple thing to do, but it becomes a lot more
No.
complicated
No,
ways to
it's
do
not
that, so-
simple.
Because
Yeah,
it wasn't,
exactly.
because it wasn't part of the trail
Correct.
plan.
Yes.
You now have to create a new plan
Correct.
for the Department of Transportation Bureau of Rail and Trails, and good luck with that.
Yeah.
They are not really conducive to
People will
that
make their
idea.
own.
If you build
If
stairs
you
to
build it,
nowhere,
they will come.
Exactly, yeah.
find the edge of your property line, happen to put stairs. Oh, did I say that?
If you don't object to people
You know,
with
it's just-
machetes and brush
Right,
cutters, they'll
right.
make their
It's
own.
okay. They'll make
Yeah.
their own.
I've been to other places, and they have the trails there, and it's
It would be nice.
the difference is, I think you're 75 feet above the trail, so,
Right.
but it'd be for people doing the trail jogging, they can get their stair running, run up and down, get their coffee.
That's right, a little workout station.
Well, it's just,
Well, it provides an alternative to get more than a
It does.
McDonald's or a Burger King, which is what's there now.
You can build a trail to your boundary.
Thanks.
well, I mean, I don't know how far your boundary goes down there. I'm just thinking, it's also possibly another access point,
There's quite a ways.
Yeah.
There's a fence that runs the entire length between the trail and the railroad track. So even if you build a trail, the railroad track.
Even I could jump that fence.
Yeah.
I was just looking at alternatives.
I think what we had said was
They,
in the traffic studies, it would be a good idea to do it, should that be able to be done in the future.
It's a right away for the railroad.
recent trails in here, right?
So,
I was just looking at
another day, another
All right,
day.
any other
I think, Madam Chair, we covered the issues that you raised.
issues? I believe we can.
We have others with the blacking issue while we're all together.
Stuff on the top.
I think we've, Larry's been wonderful to work with, he's given us a lot of direction. Can't thank him enough for everything. So if there's something that you need from us while we're all here,
Catherine, did you
I want to talk about drainage a little bit.
very much range. Okay?
You've got one storm scepter, right? SCC 900 back in the back corner. That's the only one I could find, is that right?
Storm
Back
scepter.
right hand corner?
Yeah, that treats the water before it goes into the underground system to the rear of the building.
So I was trying to follow this on this mini print. 20 years ago, I had better look.
Yeah, so the storm scepter's back
Yeah.
here.
So, could you just kind of,
This is Tilton.
Let's see. I can hold it.
Okay.
all right. So let's start in the front with that swale.
Yes. Out here?
Yes.
Okay.
To the right. That's your, no, that, what is it, a catch basin? No, invert, your invert to the swale. Right, bingo.
498.
What is that draining into that swale? The canopy?
Yes, just clean canopy runoff from the fueling canopy.
Okay. What do I see coming from the pump stations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. That looks
Oh,
like
these?
it's tied into it. Yeah.
Those are the downspouts from the canopy,
So they're
So it
coming
comes
from
from up
above?
above.
Okay.
down through the next to the column.
So the canopy is pitched in the center?
Yep.
Interesting. All right. The intersecting one in front of those, no, perpendicular to that,
This one?
right there.
Yep.
That's also running, is that running into this or is that running into the back?
It's completely independent and that runs to the back.
It does run to the back.
Yes.
So you have catch basin to the left, catch basin to the right.
Yep. Deep-footed catch basin with a sump. Those will trap any floatables.
Okay, but that's a typical catch basin with the bottom.
Yep.
So the water comes in, drops.
The water level will be
And then the
above the hood.
water
There's
level
only water
rises up
level.
the elbow and out.
Yep.
That's kind of a standard catch basin. Right. Well,
Standard these days, yes.
It's
You
better
can put in
than-
something less.
better
robust.
than, but you could put in something better, could we not? Or are you relying on the
Right now-
storm scepter to catch everything that might come out of those?
Exactly. The storm scepter now is in line with this main trunk line, which collects the drainage runoff. That will then treat it before it goes into the underground system for detention.
And I'm sure you people are much smarter than I, but I didn't have time to answer my question of that storm scepter 900 is designed to take water from all of those.
Correct.
We have a big storm event, it's not gonna be overrun, let's say.
Nope, there's a bypass and the system, anything that's collected will stay above the outlet.
Okay, so the storm scepter won't let it out unless it's
No.
filtered? Okay. Along the front. Now moving back to the front, I'm sorry, I forgot about it. I saw more catch basins. But if, right, I'm thinking those are they existing?
Maybe in the street or on
Well, they look like they're off the street, but I'm thinking they're existing. I didn't see them.
no, I don't think there are any existing catch basins on the site.
Here, let me show you mine.
Sure. Okay, so that's in the edge of the travel way, that's in the roadway.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's not connected to any of this, no.
There are 2 pipes that were found during the survey, but we're not touching those.
Okay. As I said, this is taxing my eyeballs.
Which way is the water that's underneath the canopy? People are filling?
I can see it if I do that.
Where is that water gonna flow? What's it gonna flow towards?
So what we've done is we've introduced this.
No, I'm talking about on the ground.
On the ground?
Yeah, where's
Under
it?
the canopy?
Yeah, so if there was spillage, you
Yeah, so there'll be snow melt, stuff dripping off cars. The way that this is rated now, it drains in this fashion away. There's a ridge line here,
Yeah.
so this pitches this way, and it goes into these catch basins.
What about at the drive-through or at the window where people will be
Yep.
idling and possibly leaking?
So there's a ridge line here, so people on this side, the water will collect here.
Is there,
and go in,
yeah.
and over here, it comes into this catch basin, and goes through and gets treated.
But is there a catch basin at the pickup window?
The pickup windows here, so all of this runs into this catch basin, and all of this runs to this catch basin. And everything is curbed, so there's no curb breaks, nothing can get out.
But those 3 or 4 spaces over there, that little jog,
Right here,
yeah, where will that water drain to?
this is a high point here.
So it's all gonna drain towards that back corner?
Yep. And then, again, the building is clean as well. The building is a separate system. It's piped to this rear filtration area. We're only able to infiltrate clean rooftop runoff that isn't part of the gas operation.
So the water off the roof of the building, will that just flow to the parking lot, or will that flow into?
It'll go into a roof collection system, and then it'll come in this rear area and infiltrate, and then once it, in a higher storm event, it'll overflow here to the spillway. But the way it's modeled, we're still reducing the runoff for each storm event compared to what exists today.
To the left of your checkboard system, there are 8-inch inverts. Do you see them?
I'm sorry.
To the left of the checkerboard system in the corners, your finger was close to one. Up, right, back. To the left.
Okay,
Here. 8-inch invert right there.
Yep,
What is that?
that's a clean out.
That's just a clean out.
Yep.
So is that, that's covered,
This
right?
is the, small 6-inch metal casting. Looks like a
Okay,
water.
so all of
gate
these
valve.
are clean outs that I see that are inverts?
Where you see a CO with a circle, that's a clean out.
All right, thank you. So your number of them.
And there's also cleanouts in the underground system for maintenance.
How often are those cleaned out?
The system will be typically inspected every 6 months, and then they're cleaned out as needed. There's no sediment, and there's obviously no action
So you
necessary.
have a set schedule for the cleanup?
Yeah, there should be a schedule in the drainage report, in the back of the drainage report.
The drainage report during construction is up to the contractor, but then it's up to the person who leases the facility to follow it. I believe.
That's correct.
Is that right?
I think it's the owner, I don't know if it's the person who leases it.
Board have any more questions? Gonna open it up to the public? Any questions from the public, comments?
Will there be a on-site Class B operator
Yes.
for that tank?
Yes.
Any other questions? I'll close it to the public. To the board.
to accept Planning Board 15-17, the condition of all lots merged prior to construction of operation, and also a crosswalk providing pedestrian access between the facility and the sidewalks along the other side of the route. Should be. Route 3. Should be installed after construction with Town of Tilton.
Consultation.
Oh, consultation. With Town of Tilton, New Hampshire DOT, and Global Montello, thank you. Draft.
I don't know, draft?
I didn't know we were going to
Montello's.
approving. I guess I missed the part that we were going to approving. I was reading
Do you have other
the
questions or
report.
comments?
Well, we had touched on the hours of operation and how that's going to affect the residential neighborhood to the west.
You have 24 hours of operation.
And deliveries. We're basically at night, low peak, I believe they said. I heard.
Yes.
Yeah, they did say low peak.
I didn't want to create another Grant Street low situation. I didn't know if we could discuss ways of preventing that. There's deliveries in the night of lows, trash, number of things, keeps those people awake, makes the depression, tailgates, the opening numbers and dumpsters and slamming shut, et cetera. Doors.
But I think it's not just Lowe's, I think it's like Chili's and all of those that.
No, it's Lowe's that created the problem for Grant Street because of the proximity.
But I'm saying
where those deliveries are made.
those businesses do create a problem for the people on the Main Street location, because it's been brought up by someone who lives there across the street. That's all I'm saying, so.
If it helps in terms of deliveries, I was just told that they typically do at night, but they can be adjusted. So we're open to some flexibility here. This is what it is. When we look at the site, if you look to the left, there's not much residential property at all. If you look to the right, there isn't much as that house down below, which I think we might have testified last time, but we were pretty comfortable with what we were presenting. So we're very cautious not to interfere with someone.
Those are all your residents, that's your property, those were all, that's the residential neighborhood to your west.
Yeah.
You may have bought a couple, but they're pretty, you got a selectman that lives down there too, it's not me. It's not
I
me.
got it now. It's almost that before.
But it is a pretty densely packed area.
I do know that Mr. Gaudette mentioned, and I think it's in the notes, that he had contacted contacted the residents. So,
I think that's correct.
Do you have a suggestion on how to curtail those deliveries? No deliveries after 11 o'clock at night, before 5 a.m.?
There's a couple of different deliveries you're talking about. One is gas and the other one would be food things into the store. Typically the store is done first thing in the morning. The gas, we typically do off hours, just in the interest of safety and getting the trucks in and out without a lot of traffic there. The only caveat I can say on the truck, if you're out of fuel, you got to get in there when you can get it in there. But typically try not to make it 2 o'clock in the morning or 4
Fuel
o'clock.
deliveries aren't typically that noisy.
No, they're not, but
Picking
it's
up
truck
the
traffic.
trash, the dumpsters, and those things
The
are-
dumpster guys, typically during business hours, we're not gonna have them come in mooring in there at 4 o'clock in the morning empty. So we certainly can entertain that.
One thought is that maybe if everyone's clear that about the language in the nuisance ordinance.
That's subjective.
Okay.
what do we do for the other gas stations in town? I mean, this is not.
They're
we
not
have-
butting up against residential
Well,
neighborhoods.
they certainly are down where Shell is, and
They
they
were
certainly are
existing.
are down where Cumberland is, so what kind of restrictions do they have for?
I think those are probably pretty much grandfathered.
So it's okay to make noise down there?
Well, I mean, I would again say that if there were ever an issue, I believe it,
Covered with the nuisance ordinance?
I believe so. I mean, obviously, we may not all agree on that, but yeah, that's my thought. And that, by making it clear, as we are right now with the nuisance ordinance would be in effect, so that's certainly a step
Well,
in
it
the
sounds
right
like it's
direction.
not gonna be a heavy burden if we at least restrict food deliveries and trash pickup to, daylight hours. Yeah, after 6 AM, before 11 PM. Fuel is not normally a loud banging operation. For trash pickup and food deliveries are.
I don't think the noisy. I think the noisy, in my experience, are the Cokes and the sodas, and that's usually the noisy delivery.
Yeah, that's why we restrict
Yeah.
the trash pickup and the food deliveries.
Yeah.
Also, in your drainage report, if you had some language in here that their inspection reports be given to the town of Tilton as well. The inspection reports for the maintenance, those reports, copies be given to the town of Tilton. Just that language in here for
Make
that.
it a condition. I've seen it as a condition.
Sure.
Yeah.
What was that last one?
The maintenance report.
Scheduled the inspections, they are quarterly for the catch basins, drains, and drop inlets, and they're cleaned on a biannual basis, so all inspections, reports for the maintenance.
I think the different
Storm.
components of different intervals of
Yep.
inspection. Sure.
Yeah, so just say all.
We provide the content.
of the lists, like that.
What's the sewer hook up? Which way?
What's in front?
So our only option actually is right here.
So is that where it is?
There's a sewer main line. That was one of the biggest questions actually when we were looking at this property. I came in here and met with Dari and some other people from town. And the woman from the sewer district was nice enough to locate a plan that showed this, and then we actually went out and surveyed. So we would run, a line through here within the right of way to connect.
We have to put something in there about future connection with Morrison Avenue at some point. I know there was discussion last time about that.
Well,
Being a town road and.
if they do, they would have to come to us anyway.
They'd have to come before the selectmen.
I just didn't know if this is the time to, I mean, if they're gonna be digging over there anyways, is this the time to connect to it?
That's really up to them.
That, they're not requesting permission for that.
That's up to them.
I would encourage the board not to, that's
It's
chair
not ours,
policy.
not anything to do with us right now.
Well, I just know that there was something before about some type of easement or something.
Right, but I think it was made clear at the last meeting,
They wouldn't be
one,
doing
that
That's in the notes.
that no connection is being proposed at this time, and two, it was made clear by some of you planning board members that there would be further permissions necessary to be obtained from the town in order for that to happen.
Just seeing that they're digging anything, so exploring the option that we have.
Want to read the motion again then?
Okay, make a motion to, to approve planning board 15-17, Okay, with the following conditions, all lots shall be merged prior to the construction of the operation. No,
It's not exactly what I.
No, it's not.
All lots shall be merged prior to construction and operation.
well, it's not what it says.
Okay. That's why
We'll go
I'm
with that.
correct.
And a crosswalk providing pedestrian access between the facility and the sidewalk along the other side of Route 3 shall be installed after construction, consultation with Town of Tilton, New Hampshire DOT, and Global Montello's
Traffic consultant,
Traffic,
designated, or whatever you want to say. Let's just-
whatever. Okay. Number 3, trash pickup, food and beverage deliveries shall be scheduled after 6 a.m. and prior to 11 p.m. And a copy of all inspection reports be provided to the town of Tilton.
We don't want to say for stormwater treatment.
Stormwater maintenance.
Stormwater maintenance.
Okay,
They want,
specific.
Yeah,
And I
so
have
they will.
Specific reports.
Yeah.
One more. No light poles shall be installed in the sidewalk.
Are you accepting that as one of your conditions that you're proposing?
I don't know. I guess my feeling is that as long as there's clearance that meets the ADA guidelines, it doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, but that's,
If you walk down the sidewalk and walk there, you will see different obstructions. And you'll watch people trip over them, because people don't expect obstructions in sidewalks. And they said there wouldn't be any problem being in the grassed area.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't have a problem with
And
that, right?
there's utility poles and sidewalks along streets all the time. I don't see
Well,
why you mentioned-
All right, so in the
No
grant,
light poles inside.
no light poles in sidewalk.
I'm just saying no light poles on the sidewalk there.
No obstructions in sidewalk, how's that? Permanent obstructions.
That could be. Isn't that big? Kind of.
Big.
Can we say big light poles?
But they could
I
put
just- I
bicycle
mean-
racks and everything else, that's why I said no permanent obstruction. All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Go thy way and sin no more.
Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. We've been great to work with. As you said, Gary, great from the beginning. As I said at the beginning, we want to be good neighbors. So we're glad to talk to you, listen to you. If something goes wrong, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Nicely painted. That's nicely painted.
You did do an excellent job, by the way. Yes, thank you. You made our job. I know you did. You've been so, you were very cooperative, except with Darby, and that's fine, we don't care.
You got a good guy there. Thanks again.
Good night.
Have a good night, all.
All right, moving right along, we have a request to continue the next case, Town Planning Board Case 15-18. If you will recall, we required them to come up with a survey so that we would know what the boundaries really were, and they're having some difficulty getting that all set up, and so they've asked for a continuance.
So moved.
Make a
So
motion,
seconded.
To 20 seconds.
make a motion to continue case 1518 to our usual.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's the thing, so,
Is that-
storm stuff just been
I was
installed.
like, what? So it's a
We
storm
should remember
interceptor.
the-
What is it?
Well, this thing filters out,
It's like a Cadillac.
yeah, it filters out gas and oil.
Yeah.
What does it look like? I mean, what's a storm scepter?
Oh,
Sounds
I
like a
didn't,
star-
it's a
star-
fancy catch basin. It's a fancy catch basin. I looked at it, but it's just a fancy catch basin.
Well, can I?
You're welcome to read it.
Um,
I copied it to put in my file so you
And,
forget about it. Read
The
it
interesting part, we are going to continue the case. The interesting part is that he's glad that we required that because it's finding some interesting.
yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, what his early reports are that, yeah, what he's hearing from the surveyor are positive on his side, but, you know, we'll wait. and see.
So he was grateful that we did that. He wasn't too grateful last week, but this week he did. All right.
Next week,
We're gonna have an interesting meeting when he comes back to us, eh?
Well, we're still on.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like the was arguing.
All right, anything? What?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We didn't-
No,
we
we
haven't-
gotta
we gotta
review
vote
the
on
minutes now.
We didn't vote on the motion on the table.
right.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
I think you did, yeah, I've got it down on my notes.
You even said yes, Catherine.
Oh, I would've.
I know. Well, we all kicked each other when you did, so.
Stun silence, that's all.
All right, we have to review the August 25th, 2015 minutes. And there may be some mistakes. I've gone over these about 5 times because I was looking for specific stuff and I didn't see any problems.
I only saw a very slight, not worth mentioning, spelling error, bottom of page 3, Morrison Avenue.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I'm not gonna be sued over that.
You might. All right. So that in form of a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of
25th?
August 25th.
Yeah.
As
Second.
written.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I have a question. In the minutes, Catherine proposed the checklist elements be required for all subdivisions creating 3 or more lots and be required on all site plans and subdivision plans. Did you correct that so that they are?
No, I can't, I can't just make that correction, that'll be something that has to be approved at a meeting.
Okay.
I do think we should maybe talk a little bit more about that, because I think there rightfully should be some things that are required for subdivision that aren't required for site plan review. I think Catherine was feeling that some of those things that were isolated out shouldn't have been, but I'm not sure that we want to go so far as to saying everything that's required for subdivision is required for site plan review, so maybe we need to, I'll kind of.
At another meeting and come, all right.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, just not let that go by though, okay?
Yeah, no, I know, okay, yeah, all right, yes.
And the other thing, when we require that companies provide us with schedules, the way we did with them,
Mhm.
we need some mechanism to follow up to make sure that people are. And I'll give you an example. We required that of Walmart. Have you seen any?
No.
Okay,
No,
so I'm
yeah.
saying we need to be able to follow up on those.
Yeah, you and Catherine are right on the same page with this. She mentioned the same thing. You guys are exactly right. I think that other towns who've been, kind of in the stormwater management game for a while do have, a simple database. I mean, I could even check with Belmont. I wouldn't be surprised, that with their multi-person planning department, they may have a really good system in place for that. And, there's simply just a
Like a
spreadsheet
dashboard.
that Al and I have on the wall, and we go through and say, oh, this month we're expecting such and such from such, I think that's a great idea, so
Okay.
I talked to him about tracking our conservation easement as well. 'Cause we have them in interesting places all over town. We discovered Tangerella while depositing snow on one of them a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I think, and I've often thought about that, because that was when I first came on the planning board. when we did the Walmart, and it was a big issue, because they have a lot of toxic stuff there. They have ponds in the back, retention ponds in the back, and they have to do it, it's required by law for them to do it. That's why we wrote into the plans that they were to provide us with all those forms. I've never seen one yet.
It's like Tanger, there must be some plan for their detention pond that's turned into a wildlife refuge.
And J. Jill is another
Jill's
one.
another one.
Oh, yeah.
So it's supposed to
Actually,
be like this?
if I could, since we're on the topic of stormwater tonight, I believe something that should be proposed in site plan, in subdivision, there are standards, design standards in the subdivision regulations. And some of, I would say they should all be in site plan review. In particular, there's one that says stormwater this is the gist of it, I don't know the exact wording, but basically your runoff, you have to manage runoff when you develop a site. When you subdivide a site, the outflow from the site can't be any greater after you develop it than before. I think that should be in site plan review. And that would require that the applicant request a waiver and make it clear. I'm planning on sending more water my neighbor's way. Are you guys okay with that, rather than kind of, right now it's sort of hidden it can be hidden in a site plan review application. If it's a requirement, if it's a design standard, then the applicant would have to actually request a waiver. Either that, or they need to comply with that standard.
And I'm all for that, because I lived on I had a piece of private property of 10 acres. And I knew nobody would build on one side of us, I knew nobody would build across the street. Well, guess what? And guess who had to put a new well and a new septic in? Because there were no regulations at all when they just came in. They came in and built.
Right.
I
And
paid the
that is
price.
like
But they
always
already
the
are part of the site plan.
Sort of.
But it's
I
not
think it
like
would
that.
help.
The site plan review procedure in no way relieves the developer, his, her agent, or individual from compliance with the zoning ordinance, subdivision regulations, or any other ordinance which pertains to the proposed development.
I agree.
I
mean,
we need
I agree with you.
If you want it
Yeah.
more,
Yeah, I think
you
it
know,
should be.
specific,
Yeah.
I mean, this one, some of them come in and go, oh, what do you mean do a subdivision? Read page
No,
two.
that's, I
Honestly,
think we need to do our job more and make
Well, I
sure
think the
that.
planning board needs to be more aware
Yeah.
of that.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I read the subdivision that pertains to this.
I mean, when it comes to stormwater, I feel like
We're behind.
there's a lot. Well, yes and no. There are a lot of reasons there. I think we may be behind. Where we may be behind is having things spelled out particularly in site plan review. However, I don't think we're behind in having ammunition, because I think in general the overlay of regulation, federal, state, pretty much, and just civil law puts us in a good position to say, hey, you can't just start dumping more water over onto your neighbor's properties. But I think having it clearly in site plan review as a design standard will make our lives a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
But-
agree.
Well,
Yeah.
for example, in stormwater treatment, we are behind. I mean, right here, I just turned to catch basin detail, I mean, it's a sump one, but that's nothing special.
Yeah,
That's just, it really, when they say,
Right,
like you were saying, a deep sump, it's not anything special, trust me. Unless there's a maintenance schedule for cleaning out that deep sump.
yeah.
And, you know, the difference with these guys is they did put that system in to catch everything that comes from those regular catch basins before it goes out. We don't have anything that allows us to unequivocally say, yes, you will. Yes, you will. You'll treat that
Well, I
in
mean,
something like this. These aren't designed to catch oil. Oil floats on water.
right.
Okay, so you got a deep sump, and you got some oil in there.
Why
What's
you-
it gonna do when the water goes up, then goes out the outlet? It's gonna rise up with it, and it's going out the outlet with it.
Yeah,
These are designed to catch sand, paper, garbage, bottles, cans. Debris, not oil. These are not oil water separators. And we have nothing in here that allows us to say unequivocally, you can
Um,
argue all you want. There you
Well,
go.
we don't, but again, I think when you really, I feel very comfortable, as I did with this case, this Global Montello case that we just heard tonight, telling people, you need to come in with alteration of terrain compliant stormwater design. And if they say, no, we don't, it doesn't say that in here, I'll say, just do it, it's not gonna work, because I can give you a list of a million reasons why you're gonna have to do this, or I'm gonna recommend to the board that it not be approved. But anyway, I'm not trying to disagree with you, because I do agree with you in the end. There should be more Tilton-specific language about stormwater, regardless of what state and federal regulations we have to fall back on.
Each site is different.
And fortunately, I think I've got plenty of ideas that we can work on if that's what the board, we do need to obviously start moving forward with our regulatory changes, and if stormwater is high on the list, I think I'll look forward to working with you guys on that. I have a lot I can contribute to that.
We're gonna wear your brains out.
There's so many lawsuits that seem to come with improper managed runoff that is happening every town.
Yeah.
Well, and we've got a lot of climate change issues going on that are causing a lot of problems that are not gonna get better, they're gonna get worse.
The next one that's gonna come before us that we're gonna be really gonna wanna pay attention to stormwater runoff is the one on Bittern Lane.
With
I call it the balloon arena.
the balloon arena.
Yeah, the balloon arena. Okay. Anything else?
Madam Chair, just, we haven't talked about it for a while, but do we need to come up with some type of agenda or schedule of what we're gonna work on for a town meeting?
Well, I think that's,
Yeah, do you guys wanna do that tonight, or should we do it at the next meeting? The next meeting, unfortunately, we do have a couple cases. I know that we're gonna try and move toward not having cases at the second meeting of the month. I think because we're at the end of the construction season, in order to, sort of keep everybody moving along, there are a couple cases that need to go at the next meeting. But anyway, I don't know, do you guys want to talk about that tonight? Another option, I have the list from our workshop. I've been highlighting things that continue to come up as areas that I think we need to work on. I could prepare that list and we could go over it at the next meeting, or I can grab the list right now, we can go over it now. I don't know how you want to handle it.
You brought it up.
We all
I
just
just,
look around.
no, I just don't know what this, like, when do we have to have things submitted by, to be on the town ballot and stuff, and then go back?
Okay, I don't think that's been released yet. I mean, we could look at last year's and get a general sense of when things need to happen.
I just know it's fall, and that's usually when we start.
Yeah, I mean, I think we shouldn't wait any longer. If we can, we have 2 cases at the next meeting. If you guys want, I'll schedule a workshop at the end of the meeting.
Why don't
We'll
you
just
do
have to
that?
plan on staying on
Plan
the
2
election.
plus the continuation from tonight, or do we have?
True, yeah.
Why don't you email us the list and we can all do some homework?
Okay, yep, just remember not to, email back, just take the list, or unless you email it just to me. Don't
well, you were
email.
gonna do that about a month ago, so make sure this time you do it.
Wait a minute.
No, seriously.
What was I going to do about a month
You were
ago?
gonna
Send us a list.
send us a list.
Do we have that in writing? Was it in minutes on one of them?
Yeah, I must not skip my notes.
Honest,
I have a
you were.
list ready, so.
Must have been the meeting I wasn't in.
Any meeting you guys, I've got my list. I don't know if you guys have your
Remember
list.
that, I remember.
Email it out to us, we'll do some homework.
Okay.
Some of them, I tell you, agriculture is one that makes no sense at all in our book. Take a look at agriculture. And try to permitted uses, see if you can make sense of it.
A lot of things that are.
And we've had some issues with that, too.
We're having one right now.
Agriculture comes up all the time, man, chicken.
We want us chicken.
Well, there was all that with you guys, the agriculture.
Turkeys up there?
No, the people next door, they have free range things, one got pegged today. Yeah.
To the side.
By the big barn, not a big.
Yeah, but, no, the pig comes around and visits them.
Yeah.
No, they're, I don't know, guinea hens or something, they look like guinea hens, but the one that
Those are loud.
leveled on the roof.
Those may be wild.
No, he's got, we have black ducks, we have all sorts of stuff.
I saw the pics.
Except we have a lot of flies now.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Have a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor of adjourning?
Alright.
Opposed? That's fine. And let us know about those chickens.
Yes, I picked 3 new ones up tomorrow.
Not yours, the ones on
Oh, come on.
High Street. Captain, what are you guys going out there tomorrow?
Oh, no, we're gonna talk to Al about it
No,
in the morning. And I talked to him about, a little bit about it today.
Wait,
You
wait,
know,
wait,
but I
wait,
gotta
wait,
find out. if
Middle
it's
house
family
there.
home.
The house they're
We're
working.
gonna be on tape.
It's probably a good idea.
All right, cool.
I crossed that line
Turn did you turn the video off,
We'll
Joe?
have to look at, is this really what he sent
Al.
me? We'll have to look at what I sent him for edits, because I
Dari,
think we missed a lot
Joe,
of it.
somebody turn the camera off.
I don't know how. I don't think